Ever wondered what really happens to your data after you hand it over to a company? Does it sit there forever, or is there a rule book behind the scenes deciding its fate? Because whether you realize it or not, every click, every sign-up, every transaction is being stored somewhere. Welcome to Bluehat Cybersec Academy. Today, we're diving into a topic that quietly shapes the digital world around you. Data retention laws, rules on storing information. Now, let's start by understanding what data retention laws actually are. In today's data-driven world, information is one of the most valuable assets an organization can possess. From customer details to financial records, businesses continuously collect and store vast amounts of data. However, with this responsibility comes a critical obligation: complying with data retention laws. These laws dictate how long data should be stored, how it must be protected, and when it should be deleted. Understanding data retention laws is not just about avoiding penalties. It's about building trust, ensuring transparency, and safeguarding sensitive information. This blog provides a comprehensive overview of data retention laws, their importance, key principles, and best practices for compliance. What are data retention laws? So, what exactly are data retention laws? Data retention laws are regulations that govern how organizations manage the life cycle of data. This includes collection of data, storage duration, usage limitations, and deletion or disposal. These laws vary by country, by industry, and by the type of data involved. For example, financial institutions may be required to store records for several years. At the same time, personal data may need to be deleted once it is no longer necessary. Why data retention laws matter? Now you might be thinking, why do these laws really matter? Let's break it down. First, legal compliance. Failure to comply with data retention regulations can result in heavy fines, legal action, and reputational damage. Second, data security. Proper retention policies reduce the risk of data breaches by minimizing unnecessary storage of sensitive information. Third, operational efficiency. Keeping only relevant data helps organizations streamline operations and reduce storage costs. And finally, customer trust. Users are more likely to trust organizations that handle their data responsibly and transparently. Key principles of data retention. Now that we understand why it matters, let's talk about the key principles behind data retention. The first principle is purpose limitation. Data should only be collected and stored for a specific, legitimate purpose. Once that purpose is fulfilled, the data should be reviewed for deletion. Next comes data minimization. Organizations should only retain the minimum amount of data necessary to achieve their objectives. Then we have storage limitation. Data must not be kept longer than required. Retention periods should be clearly defined and documented. Another critical principle is security and integrity. Stored data must be protected against unauthorized access, loss, or corruption. And finally, accountability. Organizations must demonstrate compliance through documentation, audits, and internal policies. Now, not all data is treated the same. Different types of data come with different retention requirements. Let's start with personal data. This includes names, addresses, identification numbers, and contact details. It is typically subject to strict retention and deletion rules. Then there are financial records. Invoices, tax records, and transaction histories are usually required to be stored for a fixed period, often between 5 to 10 years, depending on jurisdiction. Next is employee data. This includes payroll records, contracts, and performance reviews. Retention periods may extend even after employment ends. And finally, health and sensitive data. This type of data requires the highest level of protection. It often comes with strict rules on both retention and access. At this point, you might be wondering, do these laws look the same everywhere? The answer is no. Data retention laws differ significantly across regions. In the European Union, there is a strong emphasis on privacy and user rights, along with strict limitations on how long data can be stored. In the United States, regulations are often sector-specific. For example, healthcare and finance each follow their own distinct rules. Across the Asia-Pacific region, there is a mix of emerging and established regulations, many influenced by global standards. For organizations operating internationally, this creates a complex challenge. They must navigate multiple regulatory frameworks at the same time. And that brings us to another important question. What makes compliance so difficult? There are several challenges. First, complex regulations. Understanding and applying different laws across jurisdictions can be difficult and sometimes overwhelming. Second, data volume. Managing large volumes of data makes it harder to track retention timelines accurately. Third, legacy systems. older systems may not support automated data deletion or proper classification. And fourth, human error. Improper handling or simply a lack of awareness can lead to accidental violations. So how do organizations actually stay compliant? Let's walk through some best practices. Start by developing a clear data retention policy. Define what data is collected, why it is stored, and how long it will be retained. Next, classify your data. Categorize data based on sensitivity, importance, and legal requirements. Then, automate retention processes. Use tools to automatically archive or delete data once retention periods expire. Conduct regular audits. Review data storage practices regularly to ensure ongoing compliance. Train employees. Educate staff about their responsibilities when handling data and the legal requirements involved. And finally, implement strong security measures. Use encryption, access controls, and monitoring systems to protect stored data. Now let's talk about the role technology plays in all of this. Modern technologies play a crucial role in managing data retention. Cloud storage solutions provide scalable and secure ways to manage data. Data management software helps track retention schedules and enforce policies. And increasingly, AI and automation enable smarter classification and more accurate deletion of data. Together, these tools not only improve compliance, they also enhance overall efficiency. But what happens if organizations get this wrong? Failing to adhere to data retention laws can lead to serious consequences. These may include financial penalties, legal action, loss of customer trust, and data breaches or security incidents. In some cases, organizations may even face operational shutdowns. Looking ahead, where is all of this going? As data continues to grow exponentially, data retention laws are evolving. We are seeing stricter privacy regulations, increased enforcement and penalties, and a greater emphasis on giving users control over their own data. At the same time, AI is becoming more integrated into compliance monitoring, helping organizations stay ahead of regulatory demands. So now let me ask you something. The next time you sign up for a website or enter your personal details into an app, will you stop and think, how long will this company actually keep my data? Data retention laws are a critical component of modern data governance. They ensure that organizations handle information responsibly, protect user privacy, and maintain legal compliance. By implementing clear policies, leveraging the right technology, and fostering a culture of accountability, businesses can navigate the complexities of data retention with confidence. In an era where data is power, responsible data management is not just a legal requirement, it is a competitive advantage. Now, before you go, here's a quick challenge for you. Quiz time. First, what is the main purpose of data retention laws? Second, which principle ensures data is not kept longer than necessary? Third, why can storing too much data actually increase security risks? And fourth, can you name one challenge organizations face when complying with these laws? Pause the video, think about your answers, and drop them in the comments. And if this helped you understand how your data is handled behind the scenes, consider liking the video, sharing it with someone who cares about privacy, and subscribing for more insights from our cyber law, governance, and compliance playlist. Because the more you understand data, the more control you have over your digital life.